Good morning, everyone. So today we're back to Save That Rust Bucket, and what we're going to be working on today is the '69 Mustang. And so what I'm going to start doing is taking apart the fenders, the hood, and obviously start measuring with the shock towers and all the holes. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about once I take that off. So a lot of cleanup. I got to clean some of the stuff off that's in the inside, and then we're going to get to work on it. So what I'm getting ready to do is drop the suspension. So I do have the coil spring compressor right there. And then it's pretty much just removing the bolts for the control arms that are in there, right there. I don't know if you can see them. And then the lower control arm, and then just slide everything out. So I'm not going to bore you guys with the removing of the bolts, but I will show you guys once the suspension is done. So I was able to knock out one, and there you go, all the suspension's off. So now what I'm going to do is just get the other side out. I got the lower control arm free already on the other side. The sway bar, so I just need to pry out the lower control arm, and then I would be able to compress the spring. Welcome back to Save That Rust Bucket. So got the other side of the suspension on the '69 Mustang off. I was doing some research and found a forum, Vintage Mustang forums, and they have the measurements for the fender aprons, shock towers, and all that. So some good reference material there. And I'm going to kind of go off of that. I was measuring the '69 just to make sure. And it was pretty close to the specs that I believe his name was Angel has on that forum. So I'm going to be going off of that because they were pretty close. I mean, maybe a 1/16 of an inch, but nothing more than that actually. So, well, I'm going to start cutting it, and then we'll show you guys what the progress looks like. Alright, just to show you guys what I was doing. So I literally was cutting along the apron on the top of the frame rail and going all the way across, and then that way I could get most of the this free. I do have the spot welds removed from the previous time, but it's pretty much ready to come out. It's just a matter of getting rid of this right here. I was working on the fender aprons, actually cutting them up from the car, and cutoff wheel guy decided to take a little vacation. So what I'm going to do is remove the spot welds for the firewall. I'll show you guys where they are. So they're going to be along here, right there, right there. I'm going to remove all of these, and then pretty much get the fender aprons ready. I do have the spots, so I'm going to drill the holes for the welding to attach it to the new firewall. So that's the plan. Well, today was a little bit of a bust. Not really what I had planned. The grinder decided to ungrind and not want to give any effort anymore. And then the drill, I put a brand new drill bit into it, and it decided to drill about maybe 4 holes. And then it said, you know what, I'm going to break in half. So I'm going to call it a day and regroup, get back to it tomorrow. Obviously, it's probably a sign that it's not meant to be, because I was hammering away at a little mark of weld, and I decided to smash my finger just to prove me who was strong enough. And unfortunately, it hurt. But yeah, so we'll get back at it tomorrow, and we'll go from there. So one day at a time, doesn't really hurt because it always happens. It never goes perfect, no matter what. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And hi, good morning. How is everybody doing today? So I had a conversation with my brother yesterday around the progress on the '69 Mustang firewall, and he looked at me with like a confused, baffled look, and I'm like, yeah, dude, so the grinder gave out, and then the drill bit gave out, and he's like, so why don't you use the plasma cutter? And I literally was like, I don't know, speechless, and my jaw dropped. I was like, yeah, why am I not using the plasma cutter? So today I'm going to get back to the '69 and use the plasma cutter. So we'll see what it does. So maybe about half an hour into it, and I was able to get the driver's side pretty much free already. So I'm just going to wrestle it out, and then the firewall, I was able to cut a majority of it already. I don't know if you guys could tell, but you do see the cut on the top right there once it focuses. So I was able to wrestle off the driver's side and there it is. So the shock towers, and then they cut the firewall, the radiator support. So now it's just a matter of finishing up the cut on the firewall. So I got that right there, and then I'll be able to take off the passenger side. Well, so here is the current situation. I was able to get all the driver's side off, a majority of the passenger side. I was able to take out the firewall, and what I do have to do is get a grinder and start cleaning up some of the residual weld that's left on there. I'm not really sure if you could make it out, and then I'm gonna remove that other drop-off pan, since we have it right over here, I should say. So a lot of cleanup to do. Obviously the plasma cutter did come through. Thank you, a brother of mine, for the suggestion, since I totally forgot about the plasma cutter. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Save That Rust Bucket, or actually working on the 69 Mustang today. It is kind of my free day today, so I did go to Harbor Freight and picked up a grinder. So this guy right here, because the other day the grinder that I used gave out. So that's the plan today. Just to show you guys what I started doing on the firewall. So I kind of just put it in place theoretically where it would be. I do know that I had to clean up this stuff right here. I'm going to make a new lip eventually when I get to that point. So for those of you that have seen the progress on the 69 before, I didn't put the driver's side torque box on. I put the outer one, but I didn't put the inner one. So I did have to make a little modification to this torque box. I'm going to show you real quick. So this little thing, which is where the parking brake pulley kind of rides along, it's right here. It was kind of stopping it from sitting right, so I did cut it, and now we got it clamped down. I already have the holes for the frame rail, but I do need to clean up the frame rail and then also drill some holes along here, and then that way I can get it welded onto the car. So that's what I'm working on. I was able to take a majority of the shock tower out. I am going to keep on cutting it and then start grinding it. Good afternoon, everybody. So back on the 69 Mustang, and today what we're doing is finishing up the fitment on the firewall. And as you can see, I already finished drilling some of the holes on that and cleaned up the rest of the parts on the shock tower, and then punched these holes as well over there. And my brother is working on the firewall lip over here where it joined the cowl. Welcome back to Save That Rust Bucket, and we pretty much got the firewall in position, and we were able to weld it in place. So all that's left to do is finish welding on the inside, make some patches right here, and then start measuring out the fender aprons, shock tower, and then the front fender apron on both sides, and that way we can have the car square. Good afternoon, everybody. So what we're doing today is working on the 69 Mustang Fastback, and we're getting ready to put on the fender aprons and the shock towers for the driver's side. So what I have done is I've already finished removing all the weld that was left over, as well as excess metal that was over here. So it's all clean and smooth. And now what I'm going to start doing is putting on the rear fender apron, and then putting on the shock tower, or actually placing them and making sure that they're in the right spot, and then go from there. Doing is just to place the shock tower and the rear apron. I pretty much measured where the shock tower is supposed to be at, and also aligning it with the previous shock tower that I kind of left the lower piece where the engine mounts onto. So that way I can just kind of draw a straight line and make sure that it's in line where it was originally. So I was able to finish tacking and placing the shock tower into position, and I also have the front fender apron on the driver's side positioned. I do need to finish the welding on the rear driver's side apron, but that's no big deal. It's already placed where it's got to be. I just got to draw it in with sheet metal screws and go from there. So just so you know what I'm talking about, so right there, you just got to lift it up a little bit and then sheet metal screw it to the top and then also to the sides. That way it draws in. And then this is already pretty much done. You just got to drill the holes for where the shock tower cap goes, right over there somewhere. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Just got back from my haircut, thanks to Chicago Cuts Barber Shop. Danny is my barber, so thank you, Danny. And we are on the '69 Mustang. So I finished cleaning off the weld that was left, or the slop, whatever you want to call it. And I started to, where did it go? Clean off the fender apron, so I need to finish drilling the holes along the perimeter. And I also finished cleaning up the shock tower to where we're going to weld onto the frame. So I'm going to start placing the shock tower and measuring it, and then that way we'll be able to start laying some tack welds on it. So I want to place the shock tower, and I start to drill the holes on the aprons, but I have the shock tower where it's got to be. And what I'm going to do now is start tacking it in place. I do have the vice grips on it, so let's start welding. Good Sunday afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. Back at the '69 Mustang, and I was reading through the messages on Instagram, and thank you, Dennis, for giving me some pointers about the fender apron over here. So I just measured it, and it's about a ½ inch over here, and it looks like I can draw some of it in with sheet metal screws, probably on the top right here, probably over here, maybe right here. And then I'm thinking to snip the metal piece right about here, and then over here, and then bang this in, and then sheet metal screw it, and then start tacking it in place. That way the steel is a little bit more flexible, and then slowly hammer and dolly this up.